This is 9 News with Michael Thompson.
Good evening and welcome to Nine's Late News. Tonight, the people of regional Victoria are relishing in a freedom hard fought for. Out and about for dinner at a restaurant or a drink at the pub for the first time in weeks with no questions asked. Simple pleasures like coffee at a cafe were lapped up today by paying customers. And it can only be a good thing for businesses back on track after lockdown downturn. Lisa Ryan has lived through a nightmare few weeks. She's the owner of the Birrallee Tavern in Wodonga. Lisa, thanks so much for joining us on the Late News. What a relief it must have been to finally reopen those doors tonight.
Oh, it certainly is, Michael. Although we've done this all before and we didn't think we'd have to do it again. However, our staff have been so keen and it's so wonderful to see our customers back through the doors. Even though it's limited capacity, I think we're going to call it a soft opening. But we really appreciate all our support we've had. And with no cases in our area, we had to open.
Just tell us about, now you said capacity tonight. What did you have to change to operate under the new Stage 3 rules?
Well, capacity sounds great, Michael. However, that's probably about 15% of our total capacity. So we're at a similar stage to where we were back in the August closure or just before. So we've got COVID plans, we've got contact tracing, social distancing, no functions allowed, seated patrons, and of course face masks while you're not sitting. While you're not sitting, exactly. So the major change has been the capacity. So now, under this stage, we are limited to 20 people inside, 10 of which must be in a separate room, and up to 50 outdoors. So our capacity is over 600 in this area.
So very tough restrictions still. Now, it's been a tough...
Basically 70...
Sorry, you're just breaking up there. I might just try again.
We do hope that it doesn't...
We're just having some
The
problems
whole lot?
there with that. Lisa, you're just breaking up. What we might do is just take a break. Can you hear me clearly now?
I can.
Sorry,
Yes.
I was just...
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you clearly now. I was just going to say it's been a tough 6 months for your business. What kind of stress has that put on you and your partner?
Oh, look, there's enormous financial stress, Michael, and we're an established business. So I really feel for the hospitality businesses who have opened in the last couple of years, and particularly those in Melbourne who are still shut. So basically over the last 6 months, for half of that, we've been completely shut down. And the other half, it's either been takeaway only or limited patrons. So we still have our fixed costs, some of which have been deferred, gratefully. However, we still have to pay them. So every day we're operating under capacity, we're losing money. Government support, totally appreciated, but we really want to open, we want to operate, and we want to employ. That's what businesses are there for. So, you know, on the support side, the JobKeeper has saved us. We've kept our good staff, and without that, we wouldn't have been able to operate or open within 36 hours notice. So from that side, it's been wonderful, but the staff have been fantastic. They're reduced hours, they're reduced pays, and they've still been very loyal. So we do appreciate that. I think just everyone's social beings, so we need to have social contact and safe social contact. So the hospitality.
It is the key message there, that safety and social contact, making sure the balance is right. Lisa Ryan, thanks so much for your time tonight. We really appreciate it. We wish you all the best for the future, coming out of a very difficult time. Well, the blame game over the use of private security at hotel quarantine in Victoria is taking more twists and turns tonight. Former top cop Graham Ashton has denied it was ever his idea to use contractors. The ex-Chief Commissioner fronted the inquiry into the bungled scheme today. To Madeline Slattery in Melbourne now. Maddie, are there any answers as to whose idea private security was?
Well, Michael, not really. It seems to be getting more and more confusing each day that this inquiry goes on. Despite giving evidence for several hours, the former Police Commissioner Graham Ashton couldn't really answer that question as to who first came up with the idea of private security to guard these hotels. It's a big issue for this inquiry, given essentially these security guards took COVID back to the suburbs and started our second wave here in Victoria. But during his evidence today, Ashton said the idea to use private security wasn't his. He can't actually remember how he first learned of the fact that we would be using private security here. He thought initially that it would be an issue for the Australian Federal Police, and we did see some text messages from Graham Ashton to the AFP boss on the topic of using private security. One of those read, "I think it's a deal set up by our DPC, which is the Department of Premier and Cabinet." We also heard from the current Police Commissioner Shane Patton revealing a diary note that he had jotted down that said ADF available re hotels. That certainly contradicts what our Premier Daniel Andrews has been saying this whole time. Things will certainly heat up next week when Daniel Andrews fronts the inquiry. Michael?
Maddie, thank you. Less Australians are searching for work tonight, with the latest jobs data taking many by surprise. The unemployment rate did what most thought it wouldn't, falling from 7.5% to 6.8%. 111,000 workers picked up a job or resumed duties last month. More Victorians are on the jobless queue, though. It was the only state to record a tumble in employment. Chris Richardson from Deloitte Access Economics joins us now for more on those figures. Good evening to you, Chris. Thanks very much for your time. Chris, the data caught many off guard. What was your reading of it?
Oh, look, it's happy news, and Australia is in need of